Solidarity forever, solidarity forever, solidarity forever, for the union makes us strong.
The International Labour Organization is tasking Ugandan government to uphold the rights and protections guaranteed to workers, including freedom of association, the right to collective bargaining, elimination of discrimination in employment, and total abolition of child labor. The International Labour Organization, through the International Trade Union Confederation, is pushing for a common agenda for Ugandan government to adopt labor standards as provided by the Global Workers Organization, the International Labour Organization.
We have noticed that the freedom of association is shrinking on the continent. The collective bargaining is also shrinking on the continent. Therefore, as an organization that supports our affiliates in 52 countries, we felt that it's very important to come to Uganda, together with NOTU, organize this clinic to help build the capacity of the trade union leaders in this country on how they can use the ILO supervisory mechanism to promote decent work for Ugandan workers.
Alex Nkosi is the ITUC Africa Coordinator, Human and Trade Union Rights, Peace, Security and Migration.
While Uganda is making some progress in most respects, they have ratified quite a number of conventions, but when it comes to implementation of those commitments or the conventions, I think Uganda needs to improve.
The ITUC Africa Regional Officer Human and Trade Union Rights, Zakeyo Mtimtema, urged Ugandan trade unions to promote decent work through the ILO supervisory mechanism by monitoring the progress being made in implementing the ILO conventions.
So in this program of legal clinic, we deal with issues that have been already mentioned by the Secretary General in his remarks, and then we listen more to the problems that are in the country, and then we try to provide some advice to the trade union movement on how they can use international instruments to remedy the problems. So also we'll be sharing with them our international experiences of how similar problems have been addressed elsewhere.
The labor rights activists called for the need to formulate and implement coherent, comprehensive, consistent and transparent policies in line with international labor standards for protection of workers' rights.
So our appeal as ITUC Africa is that the social partners, the workers of Uganda, the trade unions, the employers and the government should work together to ensure the progressive implementation of ILO standards. These are standards that are there to be implemented and improve the quality of life of the workers in Uganda in terms of their working conditions and also their living conditions, so that we can achieve the SDGs, we can improve their quality of life, and they can live a high quality of life.
Uganda is the only country in East Africa without a minimum wage. In 2019, President Museveni declined to assent to the minimum wage bill, and Uganda employers have taken advantage of lack of minimum wage to pay low wages to workers.
Your Excellency, there is the issue of minimum wage. Minimum wage, I remember we sat with you, we agreed on something, and Minister of Gender started moving. But when we saw them moving slowly, we went ahead of them. And our good member of parliament presented the private members bill, which was passed by 10th parliament. It was brought to you. You didn't sign it. You returned it to parliament. Now, me, I'm not coming back to you. I'm asking Parliament, since the Speaker is here, Honorable Speaker, where is the bill which was returned to you? Where is that bill? Because the President pronounced himself, we want you also to pronounce what? Yourself on this issue. And Minister of Gender, you said, your predecessor said, there's adequate law. Where is that adequate law? Where is that adequate law? So these are areas that we want to correct.
You find that people playing with Mayfield. How does minimum wage scare investors? I think they should give indicators and parameters. I think we have, His Excellency the President, we urge you to engage us on this matter, we discuss and have the minimum wage. Because under the Parliament, when a law has not been assented to, it becomes a law automatically. So why don't you have the minimum wage without going through? And I want to urge Attorney General really to guide the government on this legally. Why does Kenya have a minimum wage? Why does Rwanda have? Why? And then Uganda is where you're going to scare investors. Are we saying we are the only people who have a big fold of investors other than any other country on the globe? Why they are minimum? I think mine is to urge government, we needed this minimum wage yesterday, so that at least their standards of desirability, international minimum standards, and the conformity of the convention, and actually in the constitution of Uganda. Because they are this about freedoms and actual rights.
As you are aware, Ugandan workers have different challenges, and we have gone through many issues in that regard. Beginning with freedom of association, to what extent is Uganda respecting the freedom of association in this country? We have also looked at challenges we are having in the public service negotiating council. You are aware Uganda is proposing the salary review and the remuneration board. As workers, we feel this board is going to infringe on the rights of workers to the collective bargaining. And we believe this is a matter, together with the ITUC, we should take on to see how best it can be done, or whether to evaluate it, whether it is a good idea or a bad idea. That is one of the areas we have discussed. We are also discussing the issue of minimum age, especially child labor, which is rampant in this country. With the level of poverty, there are a lot of child dropouts, which is affecting this economy. And we believe this matter, we should handle it closely. And also, we are looking at the recent case, of whereby a worker can be terminated without a reason. This was a case of Nasanga versus Stanbic Bank. For us, this matter, we have not taken it lightly, because now workers in this country are at risk that a worker can be whisked away from his job with no reason. And this is a matter we are discussing very seriously, and see whether we should forward this judgment to the Committee of Experts of ILO for further guidance.
Workers' standards are set at ILO, and we need to make sure that as a country, Uganda, those standards are respected, they are followed up, they are domesticated into our various laws, and it's upon us to make sure that these issues are done. ILO plays a very, very important part, and we really, really need their continued intervening into our situations. Otherwise, the workers of Uganda are facing very many challenges, especially in the public sector, the public servants, who we have a convention that covers them. They have a convention for the public servant workers, but these are not being respected. We have a law that is there. We negotiate with the workers, but we have found that the government is not willing, even when agreements are signed, to follow them up to date. We still have an agreement which was signed in 2019 for the public officers, but this has not been implemented. So we appeal to government, before they even think of bringing up other issues of salary, elimination boards and so on, they should think of what was agreed on and the relevancy of why the negotiation council was put in place that is more relevant and more inclusive of all the parties than what they are proposing. So ILO, thank you very much for the training. We have benefited very much. Thank you.
When I look at the legal clinic, I think I'm the most happiest because I know that as women, we are the most vulnerable. And in most cases, when we have issues, you find that people who are judging, especially on the high table, the men are the majority. And you find that it is very hard for you to believe that the men will really assess the issue well. And I want to assure ITUC that we have a team of lawyers, and that department, if it is well empowered, we shall not stay the same. Because I know that without justice, without fairness, there is no democracy, there is no independence, there is no unity. For sure, at NSSF, the cases are also very many. And sometimes they are not fairly treated because you find that they have like around 400 cases, and these are cases of the workers. So I'm very much sure that we are very, very happy, and we shall work together to see that we harmonize issues.
We have filed a lot of complaints about Uganda, and many times these issues, workers have tended to ask, why is it that our state is not improving? And the leadership of NOTU has really exhibited a lot of commitment to ensure that the workers are helped to find justice. We are looking at justice from the perspective of how best we can use the laws of the land. And where the laws are a problem, those laws also must be amended through a concerted effort. And we want to give an assurance to the workers of Uganda that the new efforts that are being put in place are definitely going to deliver a result. We are going to use legal means to ensure that workers get justice. But we are also ready to take on activism. Activism is going to be very, very, very important to attainment of our rights. And ITUC is ready to give us solidarity. So the workers, wherever you are, I know that there have been many cases that have left you wondering, how shall we ever come out of this situation? The new approach is going to deliver the results to you.